afternoon. Steve Stricker, Argos TV on RTC TV4, and this afternoon I am here at beautiful Eugene Snyder Field. Of course, it's a little rainy and damp today, but things are looking up here in Argos, Indiana, as the Argos Dragons soccer team prepares to go down to Indianapolis this week and take on Indianapolis Lutheran in the 1A Soccer State Championship. It's been 40 years since the Dragons made it down to a state championship game in soccer. They won 3 state titles back in the late 70s, the last one being in 1979. And we're going to get a chance to talk to some folks here, including Mr. Eugene Snyder, the man that this field is named after. We're going to get a chance to talk to him here shortly. We're going to talk to Coach Todd Vanderweel, as well as several of the Argos Dragons players here as they prepare for Indianapolis Lutheran coming up Friday at 8 p.m. Hey, we're here with senior Sam Manikowski and getting prepared for the state championship game. And one of the things I was thinking about, Sam, have you gotten any advice from your sister? It's pretty cool. I was thinking about this. So you have you and Owen, right? Both sisters played in the state championship game 3 years ago for the girls. So have you gotten any advice from Abby on how to prepare?
She's just told me to enjoy the moment, just really relish in it because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, really. That's about it.
So you guys have had a really, really good season. You know, the cool thing too that I told my wife was we started covering Argos soccer when you guys were freshmen. So despite, you know, obviously seeing you guys grow up from little kids, we've been watching you on RTC TV4 and on Argos TV since you guys were freshmen. So kind of to see things come full circle is pretty cool. Has it really sunk in yet? Because it may not even until after the game's over, but has it sunk in? You guys are going to the state championship game?
For me, it honestly hasn't sunk in yet that we're going to the state championship game. I imagine it'll probably hit on the way down to Indy on Friday, but hasn't really sunk in yet. We're just kind of, to me, it's just we're out here practicing with the group of guys I love to practice with, so for right now.
Well, you're playing soccer in November, which is a good thing because that means you're going to state. So we wish you the best of luck. We're going to be down there rooting you guys on, and hopefully we can come back next week and do a little post-championship celebration for the Argos Dragons.
That'd be cool. Thank you.
All right, Sam Manikowski, we'll let him go back and get some practice time in so he can be prepared for the state championship game coming up here on Friday.
Long hit. And it's headed on goal. Cross, and it's a hit. Scores. Puts it back over. Right over to Nifong. Nifong with a shot. Goal! Fouling from Nifong. Oh, my word.
What can you tell me? What's this season really meant to you overall?
Oh, me? All right. It's meant a lot. I mean, it's our last season. We got to give it our all, you know? Take it as far as we can. This is the farthest we've taken it, and, hey, let's take it to the end.
I couldn't say that better. I mean, so we had Chino here. We saw some videos today from your guys' youth years. So everybody's really embarrassed about that, and I think that Steve's going to try to include some of those things if we can. But you've changed a little bit. All of you have changed a little bit. You're a little bit bigger, a little taller than nowadays. But the game's still the same. But how have you guys adapted to advance what you've done so far?
We've been playing the feet more.
Yeah. As you can tell, these guys are very good. You can tell they're very good friends. So as you can see, they're very good friends. They're a tight-knit group here. Their interview skills, it may not be the best here. Sam was pretty nervous earlier, but you know, you got Shane. Shane is the captain of the mean squad here, as they call it. The mean squad, the wrecking crew of lacrosse. But he's out here. He's been in the program his entire career through high school. And what's this mean to you, Shane?
All right. Yeah, you can hold it. Okay. It means a lot being my senior year. Like, I haven't got a chance to play with these guys because I've always been under them. They're better than me. It's not a problem. And then, so it means a lot being out there with them finally since junior high. So it's just good times.
Can't make it out to the game, come back for Saturday afternoon. We'll be hosting the state championship trophy in the gym up there at school.
If you can't come support us, also you can watch us on RTC TV, Channel 4. So make sure you're watching that.
Thanks for the support so far. It's really meant a lot to us, and come support out Friday if you can.
Yeah, thank you for all the support. We all really appreciate it, from the seniors to the freshmen to the coaches. And yeah, come out Friday and support, please. Thank you.
Does mean a lot seeing you guys come out and help us and watch us every time and cheer for us. That means a lot to everybody. And come support us.
I think we are not done. Come out to support us on Friday, and that's it.
All right. Thank you everyone for helping us and supporting us through the tournament, and let's go get the state title. There you go.
Thank you guys for supporting us. It's going to be a cold one on Friday, so bring your jackets and blankets, and we're not done yet. We're going to be holding that state
So
trophy.
we're here talking to Coach Vanderweel of the Argos Dragons as they get prepared to go to the state championship game. Coach Vanderweel, it's been quite a ride. The boys kind of put it together, this season. We kind of expected something out of this group as we kind of got to see him, mature from freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of expected something really good, but I don't know. Did you expect this from him?
Every year I got to be honest, at Argos, every year we go into the season expecting to at least get to a certain point where we can, progress to a state championship game. Before this year, we always got hung up somewhere.
Yeah.
Last year we had we had an own goal that we had in the regional that was unfortunate, and there's been numerous ones in the past. This year, I can't say we expected any more than usual, but we did think that we had maybe a little bit better chance to get through the regional, because I felt like our depth was more. We had a lot, we had a good group of seniors and a good group of juniors to help us through that. Yeah. And honestly, that is what helped us get through. We played Andrea, and I played 18 kids. I never play 18 kids, but
right.
It was a warmer day, and I was able to rest a lot of guys, and I think that helped us a lot against Bethany that night.
Yeah. Well, you talked about it. You made a couple of changes, not necessarily in who was in and who was out, but you made some changes in the lineup. One of the things that's impressed me over the years watching Owen Nifong, you can put him wherever you need him, and he's not going to pout. He's not going to throw a fit. He's going to go and he's going to play his tail off. And you moved him back. You put Teddy in the front, and you made a few changes that way. Talk about what that was in your mind as far as making that decision, and it really worked out well.
When we made that change, we had done all right defensively. I think that we had given up 16 goals up to that point in time, 17. But there had been times that I felt like we weren't completely comfortable in the back. And what Owen does, he's just got this aura about him that everyone else, wherever he's at, relaxes. And ever since we've done that, the back four is relaxed. And of course, we put Colton in the back, or back in the goal about that same time, and that has helped immensely with the back. Putting Ted up front, Ted is a natural goal scorer. Well, first of all, Ted's a great soccer player. It doesn't matter where he's at, but he is also a natural goal scorer. So he had a great year in the back, but putting him up front, I knew with the playmakers that we had, that was giving us some problems, because they were all playmakers and none of them wanted to finish. They wanted to keep passing the ball to set someone else up. Putting Ted up there, he'll just finish. Yeah. And he had a good understanding of that. And they have these guys, Chino, Pablo, Devin, Cameron, Michael, Will Mills, they have no problems with feeding him the ball. They don't, they're just as happy to get the assist or be involved with the buildup as they are to score. So, and Ted, Ted of course does, but he's so calm in front of goal. Right now he's playing phenomenal. He's almost lethal. He's not going to miss.
Yeah. Well, we saw that up at St. Joe in that semi-state game. He put that first goal in, and it really gave you guys some confidence. The senior class, obviously, we talked about, their depth. But the underclassmen have really come up and stepped up big, like we said, with Ted and Mikey and some of those other ones too.
Yeah, definitely. Most of the juniors have played. Maybe I'm not sure they all lettered as freshmen, but most of them played as freshmen, at least some, and they've got more minutes last year. So that's helped us to the experience. But they have anybody I've had to play or have put in has played phenomenal. I mean, the last Saturday we didn't go too deep. It was the kind of game that I thought that staying with a continuous lineup, and it worked, was the way to go. But these guys, while you might not see it during a match, it's when it helps also is in practice, because you've got 16 guys that are going at it hard, and there is no easy play in practice. So
well, the harder they can go in practice and compete against each other, that just makes them all the better. So, Indianapolis Lutheran, what do we know?
We are still fact finding. We've seen some of their game with Jackson Dell on Saturday. I haven't had a chance to. I've watched about half. They seem to be very organized. They seem a little defensive minded. I think they've only scored 56 goals, but I think they've only let 21 something. They haven't let a lot of goals in. So I think that if we come to play, we should be fine. The biggest thing that we can't allow to happen is for them to score first, because I think then they're built to protect that lead, and we don't want to get in that kind of game where we have to expend a lot of energy just to tie the game up. So if we score first, we'll be really happy.
Playing on turf, so you've talked about it. You went up to Penn, and then you're going over to the academy to work on that a little bit. You played on turf last weekend. Any concerns with playing a team that plays on turf all the time?
I think with as much as we've been able to recently, maybe they'll have a little bit of an advantage, but we've done it enough. I think that we've kind of drawn that advantage that they had down to a minimum. We actually, I think that game Saturday, the turf, I had a lot of coaches tell me that St. Joe turf was fast, and they were not kidding. And that was in comparing it to other turfs. So both, ourselves in Lakewood Park had to adjust to that because they had been practicing on it as well. So I think that it's a state championship game, and I thought that we did decent with the ball on Saturday. I think that at this point in time we've done enough that it's not really an advantage for them.
It really looked like you guys did adjust well. I mean, you were playing the bounces right, and it wasn't like the ball was skipping over top of you or getting past you. So it looked like the kids really did do a good job of adjusting.
Yes, and that's where, Saturday, I felt really good going into the game Saturday morning, and my son, who's an assistant coach, played a ball we were doing our shooting line, the ball went behind, he played a ball back to the boys, and it didn't go more than 4 feet off the ground, but he drove it, and it skipped like 20 feet. And I was like, well, that didn't happen when we were at Penn. But, we adjusted to that quickly. It's just, just watching, learning that, watching it during the game. And these guys have played enough soccer. They have that much enough soccer know-how to adjust to that quickly.
Sounds like we're going to take a little northern Indiana weather down south here this Friday. So that might be a little advantage, hopefully, for you.
Well, Saturday I had 8 of my boys walk out for pregame introductions with short sleeves on. So not sure that's the best thing to do, but I'm not going to tell them to change. If they're comfortable wearing that, I think that might send a little bit of a mental message to the other team. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's going to be nice and cold by the time we start Friday night.
All right, well, we're looking forward to an Argos Dragons championship this Friday night down at Fishers High School. You guys kick off at 8 p.m., correct? So they'll be playing Indianapolis Lutheran for the boys 1A state championship. Been 40 years since we've had a state champion here in Argos. Looking forward to bringing one home.
Absolutely. This is what we've every year I think our group of kids look forward to trying to get to that point in time, and these guys have put themselves in a position to do that. So we're not going down just to be happy to be there. We're going down to win it. So as long as we play one of our best games of the season, we should be in good shape.
All right, Coach Todd Vanderweel here on Argos TV. Thanks for a few minutes of your time, and best of luck to you here on Friday.
No problem. Thanks, Steve.
Steve Stricker back here at Eugene Snyder Field, Argos High School here in Argos, Indiana, and we're joined now by Mr. Argos, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Eugene Snyder. Yeah. Coach Snyder, thank you for coming in. I know you don't like doing interviews, but I really appreciate you coming over.
Well, I enjoy the idea of talking about the boys because they've had such a good year, so I don't mind it at all.
So wanted to tie in a little bit of the history. Of course, Argos was the first school in the state of Indiana to start a soccer program 55 years?
1963.
63, so 56 years ago.
Yes.
56 years ago, Argos and Culver Military Academy. First season, it was 1-1-1. They played each other 3 times, and each won, and they tied
The
once.
65 season, 65, 66 year really, is the first time that I had taken over. Yes. And I really didn't know that much about soccer. I had some boys on the team that I think it was Johnson, Odell, Wade Odell, Dennis Johnson, some of them. They more or less taught me the game. And I can remember the first year we ended up 2-2-2. But from then on, I think I picked up a lot of things from Culver Military Academy. They had a very good coach during that time. Bethany Christian had a top-notch coach, and they had studied soccer in high school and college, of course, and so I kind of learned from them also.
So as you went along and progressed, and you got into the mid 70s, and you started getting some teams, one of the things that is pretty legendary about your tenure as coach is your conditioning. I don't think they do quite the conditioning nowadays as they did then, but tell us a little bit about the conditioning the boys had to do back then.
Well, we would start out a week before we really started practicing. We wouldn't touch a soccer ball. We ran and walked, I should say, 20 miles a day, 10 in the morning and 10 in the afternoon. Practiced twice a day, of course. And the boys knew what we were doing and what I expected from them. And so that was more or less a conditioning program. So we went into the time when we was able to start practicing soccer in very good shape.
So you were able to take 3 teams down and win 3 state titles in the late 70s. A little different game back then, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Starting in 1973, it was the first time we organized a tournament. More or less, the coaches of Indiana organized the tournament. And we had a tournament in the south and a tournament in the north. And we ended up winning the northern part. And we met Albany for the championship game over at Culver Military Academy and defeated them 1-0. That was in 1973. And then we continued on from there. In 1976, in 73, I think we were 12-0. In 76, we ended up on top again. I think we were 13 or 12-0, I guess it was, yeah. But anyway, we had met Heritage Christian out of Indianapolis at Bloomington IU Field, on a turf field at that time, a rainy night, and we defeated them 1-0. Yeah, that was in 76. I'm sorry, 2-0 in 76, and then we turned around in the fall 78 with 79 graduating class, and we went through the same thing. Ended up at Indianapolis playing Carmel, which was about the largest school in the state, really, and we were one of the smallest, of course. But we ended up playing them, and I had picked up information from a coach that they jump on you right away. And the last thing I said to the kids before we went out to play soccer was, if we get behind, don't get discouraged. And we got behind 2-0, ended up defeating Carmel 5-2. That was in 78.
So that year was not a bad year to be an Argos Dragon. Those boys not only would go on to win state in soccer, but they did something special in basketball as well.
Yes, that 78-79 team, we ended up winning, of course, the state in soccer, and the kids carried right on into basketball. Of course, had a top-notch coach, Coach Waybright, and ending up playing in the Final Four at Indianapolis that year. So yes, good year.
So you've been around coaching a lot of different things for several years, and just a couple years ago, you were part of the girls basketball team that made it down to Indianapolis. So you've had a pretty good little run of taking teams to Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's been good years at Argos for me, and I'll have to say very honestly that going down to Indianapolis with the group we went with the girls was probably as exciting as any of the other things that we accomplished.
So we're looking forward to this week with the boys going down, and the neat thing, I've talked to Andy Stone. Obviously, he lives and breathes soccer, and then sleeps soccer, and anything to do with soccer, Andy's involved with. But it's been neat because RTC came in and started doing the soccer games when these boys were all freshmen. So got to watch them, and we've seen some videos of them playing when they were in first and second grade, and it's a great group of young men, isn't it?
Right. Yes, it is. Right from the start, and they just built their way up, much like we did in the 70s and so forth. But I do want to say, as far as the RTC group, I've had so many calls and compliments. Montana, South Carolina, they're excited about the idea of the group taking over and showing it on the computers.
Well, we've had a lot of fun with it over the years, and we're looking forward to a big win on Friday for the boys, and we'll come back next week and hopefully have a post-championship celebration with them. And I just want to thank you for coming and spending some time with us. I know interviews aren't your favorite thing to do, but I feel like over the years, I can call you a friend, I can call you a mentor, and I just really appreciate everything you've done for my kids and, countless number of kids through the seasons and through the years here at Argos.
I've enjoyed every one of them. And this year group, not that I am in touch with the boys that much, but I've watched them play a lot. And I can very honestly say that this is probably one of the best teams, if not the best team, as far as passing skills and working together as we've had at Argos.
It's countdown. And for the second time in our broadcasting history, we get to say it. The Dragons are going to state. The Dragons are going to state. First time for the Lady Dragons basketball, and now your Argos Dragons are going to state for the soccer program to bide for a 4th state title.
Argos Dragons Soccer on Argos TV.